Never stop reading Bible. Today, we're going to jump into the final, super dramatic chapters of one of the most influential prophetic books in history. I mean, it's a vision that has fascinated and, let's be honest, confused people for thousands of years. It talks about nothing less than the end of the world as we know it and what comes after. So let's get right into it.
It's a huge question, right? One that people have been asking forever. Well, this ancient text gives us a surprisingly vivid, really detailed, and honestly, an absolutely astonishing answer. Let's start unpacking what it shows us. All right, so our story kicks off right after a huge period of chaos on Earth. A great, corrupt city has finally fallen, and the camera, so to speak, pans away from all that judgment on Earth and zooms right into a massive celebration up in the heavens. The imagery here is just wild. This isn't some grim, vengeful scene. No, it's a celestial wedding feast. The faithful, all dressed up in clean, fine linen, are finally getting united with their Savior. It's this moment of pure triumph and joy. But that celebration, that's just the warm-up act. The main event is the arrival of this incredible figure on a white horse. And let me tell you, he's not just presented as a spiritual guide. He is depicted as an all-powerful, conquering king at the head of heaven's armies. And that title, King of Kings and Lord of Lords, well, it leaves zero doubt about his absolute power and authority. What's crazy is just how fast this all goes down. First, you have all the bad guys, all the opposing forces gathering for one last big fight. But it's not some long, drawn-out war. Nope. The leaders are captured, instantly. They're thrown into a lake of fire, and their armies are totally defeated. Just like that, the whole rebellion is over in a flash. So, with that final battle won, the story shifts gears into a totally new phase, a long, long period of peace and order on Earth. It's often called the Millennial Kingdom. Now, for this peaceful era to even be possible, the main antagonist has to be taken off the board. So the figure identified as Satan is bound up and locked away in this place called the Abyss. His influence on the world is basically neutralized for a full 1,000 years. This timeline really lays it all out, doesn't it? It starts with Satan being locked away. Then, for 1,000 years, the faithful rule with Christ. But, and this is a key part, look what happens at the end. Satan is let out for a little while, which leads to one more final war, and that one ends with his permanent final defeat. After all of that, we get to what you could call the ultimate moment of accountability. The vision describes this great white throne. It's a scene of cosmic judgment where every single person who has ever died, rich or poor, powerful or not, is brought forward. And the way this judgment works is incredibly direct. It's based on a person's actions, their deeds, as they were written down in these divine books. It's the moment where every life is put on the scales and weighed. Okay, so after that final judgment, the whole feeling of the prophecy just does a complete 180. The old world, the old way of things, just passes away, and it makes way for this absolutely breathtaking vision of total and complete renewal. I mean, this comparison says it all, doesn't it? The new world is defined by everything it's missing. Death, sadness, crying, pain, all of it, just gone. Forever. Even the sea, which in a lot of ancient texts was a symbol for chaos, is gone. We're talking about a fundamental reboot of existence itself. And at the very center of this new world is the New Jerusalem. It's not something that's built on earth. No, it descends straight from heaven, totally pure and perfect. The text says it's like a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And the description of the city is just loaded with symbolism. Its foundations are made of precious jewels with the names of the apostles. The gates are made of pearl with the names of the tribes of Israel. It's a beautiful picture of unity. But maybe the most incredible detail? It doesn't need a sun or a moon, because the very presence of God himself is the light. This one little line just says so much. It's talking about eternal daylight, absolute security, and a never-ending welcome. This city is a place of constant light and perfect peace. So the big question is, what's life actually like for the people living in this perfect new world? Well, the final chapter gives us a little glimpse. You know what's so cool here? It feels like we've come full circle, all the way back to the Garden of Eden, but better. You've got the river of life, the tree of life, and it's not forbidden anymore. It's there giving life to everyone. But the ultimate blessing, the real prize, is that direct, unhindered relationship with God, literally seeing his face and sharing in his eternal reign. As this whole prophecy winds down, it hammers this one promise home, over and over again. It's a line that's meant to give the reader a sense of both urgency and hope, making all these incredible events feel like they could happen at any moment. But it doesn't just end on a promise. The entire book closes out with a very direct, very serious warning. Yeah, the author is making it crystal clear. The integrity of this message is everything. This last instruction is like a seal on the whole prophecy. It's a command to preserve it exactly as it was written, leaving you with this profound sense of just how sacred and important it all is. And that brings us to the end of this incredible vision. From that final judgment to a total renewal of everything, it's a story that has shaped so much of human history and belief. It's left behind these powerful images that people are still talking about today. This explanation of the source material was brought to you by the Center Studio.